Welcome to World News Digest, your go-to source for today's biggest global headlines. From Trump's conviction shaking up U.S. politics and rising tensions in eastern Ukraine, to South Korea's impeachment crisis and Haiti's deepening humanitarian emergency, we'll also explore how China's expanding Belt and Road Initiative is reshaping global trade. Stay tuned as we bring you these stories and more. Let's dive in. Our top story today. In the United States, threats against judges have surged as tensions around politically sensitive cases escalate. Federal authorities, including the FBI, are investigating an alarming increase in harassment and even death threats directed at judges overseeing high-profile legal cases involving former President Donald Trump. These threats, often fueled by inflammatory rhetoric on pro-Trump forums and social media, have raised serious concerns about judicial safety and independence. Authorities report that personal information, including addresses of judges and their families, has been leaked online in what experts call doxing campaigns. Security measures have been ramped up, with increased surveillance and patrols around judges' homes. As legal battles continue past the election season, officials warn that this trend underscores the growing risks to those serving on the bench in politically charged cases. We'll keep you updated as this situation develops. Meanwhile, Russia has escalated missile attacks in Ukraine's eastern regions. Civilians in cities like Donetsk and Kharkiv are bearing the brunt of the renewed assaults, with casualties rising daily. Russian troops have fired more than 3,650 missiles and guided rockets in the first 5 months of the war, according to Ukrainian authorities, destroying military targets as well as apartment buildings, shopping centers, and killing hundreds of civilians. However, as Russian missiles struck Ukraine, Western tech still flowed. Many of the most important electronic components inside are microcontrollers, programmable chips, and signal processors stamped with the names of American chipmakers, including Texas Instruments Inc., Altera, owned by Intel Corp., Xilinx, owned by Advanced Micro Devices Inc., AMD, and Maxim Integrated Products Inc. NATO allies have responded by ramping up support for Ukraine's air defenses. Leaders are pushing for faster delivery of military aid as Ukraine braces for further aggression. However, a review of the Russian customs records shows that some of the same parts were shipped before the invasion by third-party suppliers to several Russian military companies or to other firms with links to the defense industry. Russia's reliance on Western electronics for its weapon systems has been known for years. Moscow has a long history of acquiring smuggled military-grade parts from the United States, including costly specialized chips for satellites that can withstand radiation in space. This latest escalation underscores the ongoing struggle for peace in the region. Also in South Korea, 6 South Korean opposition parties submitted a bill in parliament on Wednesday to impeach Yoon, who had already faced accusations of heavy-handed leadership from his opponents and from within his own party. Opposition leaders accused Yoon of abusing his power, while his supporters argue the measures were necessary to stabilize the nation.
That helped clear the 2/3 threshold needed for impeachment. The number of lawmakers supporting impeachment was 204, with 85 against, 3 abstentions and 8 invalid ballots. Although suspended, Yoon remains in office.
South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol vowed on Saturday to fight for his political future after he was impeached in a second vote by the opposition-led parliament over his short-lived attempt to impose martial law, a move that had shocked the nation. The Constitutional Court will decide whether to remove Yoon sometime in the next 6 months. If he is removed from office, a snap election will be called. Prime Minister Han Duck-soo, who was appointed by Yoon, became acting president while Yoon remains in office, but with his presidential powers suspended halfway through his 5-year term. "I will give all my strength and efforts to stabilize the government," Han told reporters after the vote. The political crisis, which has led to the resignation or arrest of several senior defense and military officials, has raised concerns over the South's ability to deter nuclear-armed North Korea at a time when Pyongyang is expanding its arsenal and deepening ties with Russia. Now, around 180 people were killed over last weekend in Haiti's Site Soleil area, Haiti's Prime Minister's office said, after attacks that an NGO said were ordered by a gang leader who suspected his child had been made ill using witchcraft. In Haiti, gang violence continues to worsen an already dire humanitarian crisis. Millions of people are facing severe food insecurity as displacement reaches record levels. The National Human Rights Defense Network, RNDDH, an NGO in Haiti that monitors state institutions and promotes human rights education, said on Sunday at least 110 people, all aged over 60, had been killed in Site Soleil over the weekend. Haitian leaders have called for the Kenyan-led multinational security support mission to be converted into a UN peacekeeping force to ensure it is better supplied. But the plan stalled amid opposition from China and Russia in the Security Council. The Secretary General reiterates his pressing call to member states to provide the multinational security support mission the financial and logistical support required to successfully assist the Haitian National Police, he said. The security situation has, however, continued to deteriorate, and many countries have yet to deliver on pledges of support. These latest killings bring the death toll just this year in Haiti to a staggering 5,000 people. As the crisis deepens, the world watches to see how global leaders will respond. Finally, China's Belt and Road Initiative is making waves as it expands its global reach. The massive infrastructure project now connects economies across East Asia, Europe, and the Middle East, strengthening China's position in global trade. China's Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, continues to expand globally, with a focus on creating a vast network of infrastructure that connects regions across land, sea, air, and cyberspace. By mid-2023, the initiative had significantly enhanced trade and economic cooperation, with major projects like the China-Laos Railway and the Jakarta-Bandung high-speed railway transforming local economies. It also includes new maritime routes connecting 117 ports across 43 countries and growing air transport links. BRI's success is evident in the surge in trade, particularly between China and its partners, including significant exports of energy vehicles and machinery. This expansion is vital to China's strategy, supporting both its economic growth and geopolitical goals, as it fosters deeper ties with countries in Asia, Africa, and Europe. With investments nearing $1 trillion, BRI also promotes cultural and people-to-people exchanges, advancing poverty alleviation and development in participating. That's it for today's top global stories. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to World News Digest for your daily dose of the latest headlines. Stay informed, and see you in the next update.